Hi everyone, and welcome to the Honeybee Knits podcast channel. I got hiccups of course because that always happens when I start to record. Anyway, my name is Melissa. I'm coming to you from Springboro, Ohio, where I live with my husband, our dog, and our 2 cats. Today is Monday, February something. We're in the teens. Today's the 15th. Tomorrow's my anniversary. It's the only way I know that. Anyway, today is Monday, February 15th, and it is a very cold, blustery, wintry, snow, ice mix outside. It's horrible. The entire country is pretty much under snow right now. And I'm kind of over it. Our dog is 12 years old, and I get very anxious with her going outside when it's snowing or icy because I'm afraid she's going to hurt herself. Because she doesn't quite know that she's 12 years old and she doesn't know that she needs to slow down. So that has been something we've been dealing with over the past week or so. We got I would say like 7 or 8 inches of snow last week. We're supposed to get 8 to 11 inches today, and then another, I think, 3 to 6 inches on Thursday. So we basically are just holding up in the house, not really going anywhere, doing anything for at least the next week. Which means I have gotten a lot of knitting done and I have a lot of knitting plans. So I'm going to jump right in and start with finished objects. Before I get started, I wanted to mention that I did draw giveaway winners for Vlogmas on the last podcast. And I have had 2 people contact me. I'm still waiting on 2 winners to get a hold of me. So if you haven't watched last month's episode and you entered in the giveaway, make sure you go do so. Prince is getting all over my finished objects. Anyway, please make sure to go do so because if you're a winner, contact me on Ravelry and I'll get those packages out to you. I have not mailed out any of the packages yet. There's been 2 people that have contacted me and I have not mailed out their giveaways yet, just because it's been kind of crappy outside and haven't really wanted to go do anything, and I was still waiting to see if the other 2 winners were going to contact me. So I'll try to make that my goal next week to get them out. It's not going to happen this week. The weather is going to be too bad. But hopefully next week I'll get them out in the mail, because we are going on a trip the week after that. So, yeah, we'll be gone for like a week. So I'll try to get it done before we leave. So I'm going to jump right in to finished object. I'll talk about the shawl in a little, let's just go ahead and start with the shawl. So this isn't the first thing I finished. I'm going kind of out of order, but one of the things that I finished over the past couple weeks this is called the Edith's Secret Shawl. It was a Downton Abbey mystery knit along from 2015 by Unraveled Designs. And when I picked it out of the whip jar, I was like right here, and I basically frogged it and restarted the whole thing, and I knit this in like 3 days. So I joked on Instagram because this has been a whip for close to over 5 years, I believe, and it took me like 3 days of knitting to finish. I did use Lorna's laces, and they were the 2 colorways that came out specifically for this shawl and the Downton Abbey knit along. So I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of garter work up here, and then as you can see there's like some Old English lace and then some leaf style lace. So it was a really nice knit. I enjoyed it was just very enjoyable to knit, and it's gorgeous. The one thing I will say about this yarn, and I've had this problem with Lorna's laces before, but I think this is the first time that I've had it this bad, is it bled so bad. Like, I don't think I've ever had anything else bleed. The entire water was just a dark maroonish pink color, so much so that it dyed this gray. You can't really tell now, but this was a very, very light kind of variegated gray, and it dyed it like a dirty pink. But I mean, it still looks fine, but had I had somebody use white with this, they probably would have been very upset. But yeah, so that is that shawl. I really enjoyed working on it, and I think it's gorgeous. And since I finished it, I need a new whip jar project. I only have 5 whips left in my whip jar. Now I have way more than 5 whips, but when I wrote down all these whips and put them in the jar, I have not added anything to it. So I have casted on stuff that needs to be finished. I think I have like 14 total whips right now. So, there was a couple things that I frogged. I frogged my honeycomb sweater. It just wasn't in love with it anymore, and there's other sweater patterns that I want to use and other yarn I want to use. So I went ahead and frogged that, and I used the yarn. I had Wool of the Andes yarn. I used that to make some charity hats. Speaking of which, I'm not going to show them today, but I have been making a lot of charity hats. I want to say I've made about 30 or so since I last podcasted, and I'm going to make another 10 today because I've been making 10 charity hats every 2 weeks, so 5 hats a week. That's my goal for the year. So I have gotten quite a bit of those done, so that's been fun. Okay, I'm going to stop procrastinating and draw a whip. Okay, I picked out Use the Force shawl, which I will get it after I podcast, so you won't see it here. But that shawl was, I just showed it during Vlogmas when I did like a parade of whips. And that shawl's a lot of fun because you use short rows, and then you also use 2 different colors. Then you do like one wedge section, and then you slide your stitches over and do the next wedge section. So that whip is a lot of fun. So I'm going to pull that out, and hopefully I will have that finished so that you guys can see it next time I podcast. So the other things that I have been knitting, lots and lots of baby knits. But before I get to that, I had some trainings that I had to do at work over the past couple weeks. And so I pulled out these little kits from Around the Table Yarns that I had purchased, and they were so fun to do. So I pulled them out and I finished them all in one day during my trainings. And basically the kit comes with a cup and lid, and it's a color changing cup. So if you add different temperature liquid in here, the color of the cup will change. And then they send you like a little ball of, I think this is Malabrigo Rasta, and a little pattern, and you just knit up or crochet up this little cup cozy. And it even comes with your choice of like tag that you can put on it, and it has these little screw-on grommets, so they're really easy to install. So this one says Coffee Queen. This one says Shh Coffee. And then this one says Be Kind. And I just thought that these were really cute little gifts to make for my non-knitting friends who are coffee and tea drinkers. So yeah, so I made those super easy, super quick. I think each one took me like maybe half an hour to make. And I just had a lot of fun making them, and it was fun doing all the different colors, and they were very reasonably priced. So again, I got those from Around the Table Yarns in Cleveland. So speaking of Around the Table Yarns, I have been making lots of baby knits, and I had purchased a few of their baby sock memories kits. I can't remember what it's called now, but basically they sent you 2 mini skeins and then some of these 3D printed sock blockers. And basically after the baby outgrows the socks, you stick the sock on here, and they gave you these little ornament hooks, which I have over here, and you stick the ornament hooks on there and then hang them on your tree, and they're little keepsakes for your Christmas tree. So I had purchased 2 kits. The first kit I purchased, I honestly can't remember which kit came with which, but basically I had 2 kits. So I made 4 pairs of baby socks out of that. So I made 3 socks in the 6 to 9 month color. No, the 3 to 6 month size. So I have pink, purple, blue. And then I also had some leftovers from some of the Sweet Georgia yarn I had from my Stephen West hibernation cow, whatever it was called. Anyway, and I had last time I podcasted, I showed you I had a hoe, so I did the second sock to that pair, and then I made another pair, and those again are in the 3 to 6 month size. So I have 7 pairs in the 0 to 3 month size, 7 pairs in the 3 to 6 month size, and then I went ahead and started the 6 to 12 month size. And this was a part of the Around the Table Yarns kit as well. And this one's kind of sparkly. Can't really tell. I didn't turn my lighting on today because it was kind of cloudy out, and I figured we would just go with some natural lighting. So those are kind of sparkly. So I have those. And I had some leftovers from the Edith Secret shawl, so I made another pair of the 6 to 12 month size. And I ran out of the main color, so this toe is a little bit longer, but that's fine. So, yes, I have really been enjoying taking all my leftovers and immediately using them up in baby socks. I have 5 more pairs of baby socks to do for the 6 to 12 month size. And so I mentioned on my last podcast why I'm making so many baby knits. My brother and his wife are expecting their first baby in July. And so I immediately got to work making some of the few essentials in every size. So I'm doing socks, hats, and sweaters. So hat-wise, I finished one of the hats for the 3 to 6 month size. So I have 3 newborn hats done and 1 of the 3 to 6 month. I still need to make 2 of the 3 to 6 month and then 3 of the 6 to 12 month size. But I finished this hat and I finished the first 2 sweaters. So I'm making 3 sweaters total. So the first sweater I made is and these all need blocked, but is the baby vertebrae using Sweet Georgia yarns. And I don't remember the name of the author for this one, but I really, really enjoyed knitting this. And I thought it was super cute. So this is the newborn size, and it took me like a day to knit. I think over the weekend I knit 2 sweaters, a hat, and like a pair of socks or something like that. So there's that. And then I made the 3 to 6 month size. And again, Sweet Georgia yarns. This is just yarn I had left over from my Stephen West knit-alongs. And this is the baby flax. So the reason why I made the newborn one a cardigan is because she is due in July. And so for the first 3 months, it's going to be more like fall weather. And I wanted something that was open that they could take on and off in case she gets hot. And also I've heard that cardigans are better for newborns anyway, because they spit up a lot. And that way, if they spit up, they don't have to worry about changing their sweater. They just have to worry about changing their onesie or their top. So there's that. And then this is going to be the, let's see, July, September. So this is going to be like October to December time frame. And that's assuming that she obviously is on track. I mean, she could be a bigger baby. She could be a smaller baby. And I'm basically just going to tell them, like, use what works for you. If it doesn't work for you, regift it to somebody else or regift it back to me and I will gift it to somebody else. Either way, these baby knits will get used. So anyway, this is the flax light. Yeah, I use fingering weight. So this is the flax light pattern by Tin Can Knits, which this is my 3rd time making this pattern. The first time it was a baby knit for my friend. She was having her first grandbaby. And then the second time, actually that was the second time. The first time I knit Jason a sweater out of it. But I didn't do the flax light, I did the worsted. But anyway, so there is that. So 2 baby sweaters, a hat, and like 4, 5, 6.5 pairs of baby socks. And a shawl and some cup cozies. So that's all my finished objects, which I think is quite good. I have this bin that I'm keeping on my shelf that just has all the stuff I'm knitting for gifts for people. So I just throw it in there, and at the end of the year I can or whenever I can pull stuff out of there and gift it. I did see my mom yesterday. She stopped by the house. She made me like this little light up thing. Actually, it's right here. I'll just pull it off my shelf and show you. So she, oh, I dropped it. It's fine. She made me this little, she made this. She has a Cricut, and one of the things that we used to say when I was growing up, and you can change the different colors, is before I would go to bed, we'd say good night, see you in the morning, love you, good night. So she, and actually Jason and I still say that every night before we go to bed, because I just was in the habit of it when we got married, and I say it to him every night, so now he says it too. It's definitely something that if we ever have kids, we'll pass on to them. We pass it on to our niece and nephews. So my mom, and also our thing is ladybugs. Like, we always gift each other with ladybug stuff, as they're super lucky. But so she just gifted me this, love you, good night, see you in the morning, which eventually I plan on getting a tattoo that has this on there, but I haven't quite decided where I want it yet, so I haven't gotten it. But anyway, I just thought this was really cool. You can change the different colors and turn it on and off, and so I just have it sitting on my shelf. It's going fast now. Anyway, so I just thought I would share that with you. And okay, so anyway, she came by to drop that off. She's been vaccinated. She's a nurse, so she's had both doses of her vaccines, and we wore masks. So because my stepdad came too, and he has not been vaccinated, and obviously we haven't been vaccinated, and they were here honestly for like 2 minutes, if that. So she dropped that off, and I was able to gift her her birthday present. This is only the 3rd or 4th time I've seen her in person in almost a year, and they live 20 minutes up the road, just because we've been staying away and quarantining. So it was nice to, I got to gift her the woven chevrons shawl that I had made her for her birthday, and she really liked it. So this is Prince. My cats are huge. And honestly, he is small compared to my other cat. He is, I think, 14 pounds, and Coco's like 17, a little over 17 pounds. They're very fat cats, but they're happy and healthy. So anyway, so he wanted to come say hi. His paws are cold. He's probably cold. Anyway, so next, I know a lot of you guys have seen him before, but not everybody. So I'm going to get into whips. So my first whip is my Leading Men Fiber Arts blanket. I have been doing the Leading Men Cast of Characters Club every month, where they send you 5 minis, and they started alphabetically, I think back in like last March or April, and they just send you 5 minis every month. So since you last seen this, I've put 2 rows on it, because I've been waiting to add minis until I get 2 months, so that, because I do 10 colors in each row, but I do 20 squares, so I repeat each color at least once. So you can see that it repeats right there. So anyway, I have been waiting 2 months to add minis to this. And not only did I have the 2 months to add, but I also did their year in review, because there were some colorways in there, actually a lot of colorways in there, that I didn't get because I started the club late. So I basically had 20 colorways to add. So these 2 rows right here, these 2 greens, all the way to the green and then the purple right here, I added, and then again on this side. So yeah, it's coming along really nicely, and I really love it. And I love this. I really loved my first Cozy Memories blanket. I really did. But they were all different kinds of weights of yarn. So with this one, I'm really loving the consistency of it. Like, everything is very uniform, and I don't know. It's really beautiful, and I'm really, really happy with it. So, yeah, it's turning out lovely. So, and I just add them in the order that I get them. I'm not too anal on making sure they stay in alphabetical order or anything. I started to be, and then I realized that it was going to be pretty much impossible to keep it that way. So I just put them in the order that and because I put 2 squares in this, I use about 10 grams of the 20 gram minis. So with the extras, I've been holding it double with some Knit Picks Stroll, and I think this is the Dove Heather colorway, and making a Happy Scrappy blanket. So since I showed this last time, I have done this much of it. So about here, because when you saw it last time, I had not started the decreases, but now I'm on the decreases. So I will show you, because one side is done. So this is one side of it. It's so big and it's beautiful, and there's no way for me to show you. Prince, get out of the bag. She's trying to get in the bag. So basically, I think probably the next time I add in minis, I will be very, very, very close to this being finished. And then I have plans to make a different blanket, because this is my second Happy Scrappy blanket, and it's gorgeous and I love it so much, and I plan to give these as gifts eventually after I fill up my home with the amount that I need, so I have one in every room. But I have a lot of scraps still that I plan to make these out of. So I think next time I am ready to cast on a blanket using the leftovers from that club, I'm going to make, the name of it is escaping me now. I think it's called the here I go with the Hibernation Throw, but I think it's called the Hibernation Throw. It's by Curious Handmade. So I think I'm going to make that, and then when I'm done with that, I might make the Beekeeper's Quilt, because some of my friends are going to be making it, and it's one that I've wanted to make since I joined Ravelry, which was like 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, so I have plenty of plans for all those extras coming down the pike, and I'm just really, really happy with these blankets. They make me happy. I love working on them, and it's so, I just love I don't know, I just really love working on the blankets. They're good meditative projects to do in between other stuff. So I have one more whip. Put that off to the side. It's outgrowing its its bag. Okay. So the next whip that I have is what I've been working on. I think I started working on it on Friday. And it is my Happenings wrap. And it is my Happenings wrap. So again, I don't remember who it's by, so I apologize. But here it is. I have gotten quite a bit of work done on this weekend, and I am loving it so much more than I did last time I was showing it. When I first cast this on, I wasn't exactly having fun knitting it, to be honest. I don't know what it was. I think I had just started or was getting ready to start the Slipstravaganza cowl. I think I had just finished the Slipstravaganza cowl, and there's just so much purling in that. And then I came to this, and there's so much counting and purling, and I was like, I just don't want to do that. So anyway, so last time I showed it, I don't know if you can see the marker right there. I was right here. So I knit this much in 3 days. It is flying by. I have doubled this in 3 days. I think I'm on section 8. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm a little over halfway done with section 8. Each section has 2 parts. So I just finished part A of section 8. And I added my last color here. This was the last color I had to add. And if you don't know anything about the Happenings wrap, basically, you pick 5 colors, you assign them a number. You have color 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Maybe it's 6 colors. I think it's 6 colors. Yes. Pretty sure there's 6 colors. Actually, I have the yarn right here. Why don't I just check? Yeah. 6 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 5 colors in the main color. And then you have 6 stitch patterns that they give you, and you roll a dice to determine what color you're going to use and what stitch pattern you're going to use. And it changes like every 18-ish rows. And then every section you have like a stripe of the main color that runs through with a, you add a buttonhole, because you add buttons to this so that you can, when you wrap it, you can button it and keep it on. So I have some like yarn overs. I hope I'm explaining this correctly. But anyway, I loved just the randomness of it. When I first started it, I think I was like right here, and I was like, I really don't like this. Like, it doesn't look good, but the longer I knit, the better it looks, and I am loving it. And I am using La Bien Aimée, and I'm using Peanut Butter and Jelly, Calliope, Magellanic Clouds, La Petite Nuage. I can't speak French. I don't speak French, so that's probably wrong. And there's one more. Winter Garden. So those are the 6 colors that I'm using, and just really loving how it is turning out. So, and the great thing about this is no 2 shawls will ever be the same, because you use different colorways, different stitch patterns. Even if you assign the same colorway to the same number, it's completely random. So the goal is we leave for a trip. See, today's Monday, so 2 weeks from yesterday, we leave for a trip, and I want to have this done before I leave. So this is basically what I'll be working on. I don't think it's going to take me 2 weeks to finish. I honestly think that I'll be done with it by probably middle of next week. I think I have another week and a half-ish of work left in this, depending on how crazy work is this week. So yeah, so this should be done next time I podcast as well. So we'll get into knitting plans. So I want to finish this. I want to work on and hopefully finish the Use the Force whip that I pulled out of the whip jar. And maybe have some more baby knits. Oh, I want to cast on, and this is probably a project I'm taking with me when we go on our trip. Jason bought me these minis from Hue Loco. They're fingering weight, and I want to make the Bubbles Cow by Stephen West, and that's a DK weight pattern, so I'm just going to hold it double. And I probably have way more. I probably have enough here to probably make a sweater out of this, to be honest. But I really want the Bubbles Cow, so I'm going to make the Bubbles Cow and see how much I have left over. But I want to at least cast that on between now and the next time you see me. Secretly, I want to have it finished because I wanted to have it cast on this time, but there were a couple days where I didn't get as much knitting done as I wanted to get done. So that's really my knitting goals. Those 2 shawls and that cow, and then maybe some more baby socks or hats or whatever, possibly a sweater, because my friend we're moving into acquisitions now. My friend Angela gifted me this skein of Teeny buttons, and I think that this would be a perfect addition to the sweaters I have been making for my niece. So either as a hat or a sweater. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this. Or maybe I'll make some hats. I don't know. So we'll see, but this will hopefully be knit up into some baby knits next time you see me. And then I also received, this is a spoiler alert, so if you haven't gotten your Cast of Characters Leading Men Club for the month of whatever, February, spoiler alert, I got these in the mail, I think a couple days ago, yesterday or the day before, and this is their February. So this finishes up the E's and starts the S. So we have Eternal Kiss, Evil Queen, Fierce and Fabulous, Fishbowl, and Flamingo Lingo. So I will set these aside and wait to knit these up until I get March's installment, and then I will knit March and February and March into my blankets. I also got some yarn because I'm also making a baby blanket for my new niece, and this is from Blue Sky Cotton. I've made so many of these blankets. I got them in the original color. This is going to be the chevron blanket pattern by Espace Trico. I don't know. You can go on my Ravelry and look. I've made so many of these blankets in the past, and I always use the color palettes they recommend because I think they just did such a great job of picking out color palettes. So hopefully I will get this at least cast it on before the next time I see you. Hopefully this is the whip next time you see me. And I plan on podcasting at least once a month, so it'll probably be about another month before you guys see me again. But feel free to follow me on Instagram because I'm on there more often than I am on YouTube. Okay, so speaking of acquisitions, I'm doing my very best to purchase from as many BIPOC makers as I can this year. And that's where I want to hopefully spend most of my crafting money when I purchase things like yarn or spinning fiber or stitch markers or bags. I'm trying to purchase from BIPOC. I won't always be able to do that. I mean, I always could, but there are some times where something special might come out that I can't really get again, or something that I really love that catches my eye, or maybe like for gift knits, things like that. So not all of my acquisitions will be from BIPOC, but my goal this year is to mainly support BIPOC makers. So, So with that being said, these two are not BIPOC. I did get these from Chelsea Yarns. They were their Valentine's Day sets. And this will probably be one of the last yarny type purchases for the rest of the year outside of my BIPOC purchasing. And I ordered this before I had decided to do that. So go me. Anyway. But they're so pretty. So this is their Galentine's Day sock set. And I was like, sign me up. They're so pretty. 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. So pretty. And then also this set is the Knitting Friends. Oh my gosh. So pretty. And I've seen these knit up and they're just gorgeous. So I did buy those two sock sets. And I think I have something coming in the mail. I purchased like a unicorn box, I think. I don't remember. It should be coming soon. So I think that's the only thing that I have outstanding. I do have a couple of hobby equipment that I want to buy this year. So a lot of my crafting money that I would normally spend, I do have I don't really stick to the budget. I overspend and I underspend, so it evens out. But I do have a hobby budget that I try to stay within every month. And I've been saving that money because I really, really, really want to purchase two major things at the end of the year. So the first thing that I want to purchase is the Ashford Jumbo E-Spinner. I've been having some problems with my wheel, and honestly, it's been preventing me from spinning. I really want to spin, but I'm so frustrated with my wheel right now that it's been I just don't even want to pull it out to use it. And I know that the issues are probably me and my lack of experience with wheels, but because it's a specialized wheel, like it's all aluminum, it's a custom wheel, there's not a lot of people out there that know a lot about them or have the parts that are needed to maintenance them. And the company that made them is closed down. They have a different business, a motorcycle business that they run. They used to run them together. Like they have the same contact information, and I've contacted them several times. The receptionist keeps telling me they'll call me back. I get no responses to my emails. They never respond. They never call me back. So I'm honestly very, very, very disappointed, especially because Jason it was not a cheap wheel. It was very expensive, and that's saying a lot because wheels in general are not cheap. And so he took a leap of faith in me and purchased something that I really wanted and really loved. And I feel really bad. I mean, I know it's not my fault. I did do a lot of research, and we went into it knowing that there wasn't a whole lot of people that had these wheels and that it was like a small family-owned business. So we knew that we were taking kind of a risk when we purchased it. And it's been fine for the most part. I had some issues here and there that were all fixable, and now it's getting to a point where I don't know that I can fix it's still usable, but I like to spin fast. And I've used 2 different drive bands. My original drive band got very stretched out. And so when I tried to put it on I don't even know all the correct wording, but the flyer has like a ratio circle thing that the band loops around, and that determines how many rotations you get on your wheel per spin, per turn. And I like it on the smaller one because then it goes faster. I get more turns per pedal. But that drive band was too stretched out. It started slipping off, and it was becoming I had to work very hard to spin. So I put the new drive band on, and it's so big, and I can't, it's bigger than the other one, and I can't raise up the flyer anymore. It's at its max height. So I can't get enough tension on it to spin on the ratio that I want to spin on, which means it's on the higher ratio, which means that it's basically like a 1-to-1 rotation, and it's just too slow for me. I want to spin faster. So yeah, it honestly makes me feel like I'm wasting my time and I don't even want to spin. So I was looking into possibly selling my wheel and buying or trading it and buying a wooden wheel. But I really love my wheel. Like, I know that there's problems with it, and eventually I think I do want to like figure it out and fix it. But it kind of went down the rabbit hole of e-spinners. And so I found the Ashford Jumbo e-spinner. It's got a different name. That's just what I'm referring to it as. And I would really like to purchase one because I think that I would spin more if I had something that was more portable, something that was easier for me to pull out and start up and put away, instead of like my wheel is like over 75 pounds, so I have to have like Jason's help to pull it out and put it away, and it takes up a lot of room. And then it's metal, so it has to have grease for it to work, and then the grease drips onto our carpet and leaves stains, which is really frustrating. And if I would have known that, I would put something under it, but I didn't. So anyway, I want to try the e-spinner. So I want to purchase that, and then I also want a sock knitting machine. And I know I said I wanted one last year, and then I said I didn't want one. I want one. I'm back to wanting one. So those 2 are going to be major hobby purchases this year, which should be fine because I don't think I'm doing a whole lot of fiber events this year. But it also means that I want to kind of use what I have and not purchase as much. I'm not going to say I'm not going to purchase anything because I tried yarn diets before and they don't work. If you're going to tell yourself that you're not allowed to buy yarn 9 times out of 10, you're going to fail, and then you're going to binge because you put such a hard restriction on yourself, and you're going to buy too much, and then it's just a cycle I don't want to get into. So I'm just going with the mindset that I have really been enjoying using what I have, and buying yarn like this to knit as gifts, stuff that I don't have in my stash that I am going to knit up right away, has been a huge help. So yeah, anyway, speaking of acquisitions, that was a big long rant. I got the book. I got the book from Knitting Expat, the Cow's Color Workbook. I was so bummed that I missed her first one because I was behind on her podcast. Didn't even know she was releasing a book. And I'm sure you guys have seen this. Oh, I got another knitting book too that I'm not going to show because you guys have probably seen it. The Star Wars knitting book. I got that as well. But anyway, so I bought this, and at first I wasn't going to buy it because I was like, you can only knit so many cows. But her patterns are really gorgeous. And the way that she writes the book so that you can use any weight of yarn, I just think that's genius. And I have a ton of hand spun. So I thought that maybe not this year, but next year I might work my way through this and use my hand spun to knit up some of these cows as gifts for my family. I would have to get either some like plain white and gray or some plain color fiber and spin it up, or some yarn, plain yarn to use as like the contrasting colors, because I don't have a lot of that in my stash, believe it or not. But I think these are just gorgeous. I think this is my favorite one, probably because it's a rainbow. You could really make any of these rainbow, but I like this one too. Oh no, the chevron one I think this one is my favorite. I like that one a lot. But I like that I can use my hand spun for it because I have a lot of hand spun that I'd like to knit up eventually. And it'd be kind of fun to make a cowl for all of my family members out of yarn that I spun up. So probably won't happen this year, maybe not even next year, but I have it. I have my hand spun. There's nothing saying I have to do it this year or next year, but eventually I'm hoping to work my way through this book. It's a really nice book. And kudos to her for self-publishing. I mean, writing a book in general is so hard, and making it happen regardless of whether you have a publisher or somebody to help you. I just think it's really awesome, and supporting someone in their dreams is just like, I don't know. It's just amazing. Mina's doing a really cool thing this year too. Speaking of which, acquisitions. I forgot about this. She's doing like the socks around the world, and she designed 8 pairs of socks that are going to be released every month, I think, starting in April. And she's using yarn from BIPOC Dyers. And that yarn's going to be released to the public. So I did purchase the first colorway. I think it's a UK dyer. And I plan to hopefully keep up with that and do all 8 socks, all 8 colorways. And shipping will be very expensive for that because she did use dyers from like all over the world. So the first one, I think I paid half the price of the skein just for shipping, but it's fine. It's fine. I've kind of gotten over my reservation of shipping charges from overseas because it just is what it is, and I probably would spend that money eating out this week anyway, so I might as well spend it on shipping so that I don't eat out, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyway, cows, socks. I think that's it. I've rambled enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry if it felt a little off. I'm a little out of practice today, and honestly, I'm just very calm. Like, I have just been really enjoying my time at home knitting. Work has been crazy, but that's it's not going to slow down anytime soon. I probably have another year of the craziness on the projects that I'm on. And yeah, so plans today, after I finish recording, I'm going to clean up a little bit, get out my hat machine and crank some charity hats. I want to do 10 hats today. And then tonight, hopefully I'll get to work on my happenings wrap a little bit. So this bag, these 2 bags actually. So one was purchased by a beautiful friend for me, and one was purchased by my husband for me, and they are my favorite bags. Like, I'm just, every time I look at them, they just make my heart so happy. So happy. Speaking of bags, I need to do another de-stash, which is really hard because I'm not going to pull it out and show you, but like basically I have, oh, you guys can kind of see it. I have this bin right here that's like overflowing with bags. And now that I'm down to so many whips, I only have 5 whips in here, and I think I only have like 14 total. And I mean, today you saw 1, 2, 3 of those. So yeah, so I don't have a need for so many bags anymore because I don't have as many whips. So the bags just kind of like hang out. I do need to clean out. I have some project bags I need to clean out, but I hate doing that. Anyway, so I'm going to clean out some project bags, put some stuff away, get out my hat machine, crank some charity hats, and then work on my happenings rack. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy the podcast, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.